If your monster's sad and bitter, or he's feeling like a quitter, see the monster sitter, Mr. Princeton Vice.
Today's film is Carnival of Souls. It is the only feature film directed by Herk Harvey. However, Harvey was no stranger to filming in general. Both before and after this film was made, Harvey made educational and industrial films for Centron Corporation. We looked for a Centron short that might be fun to watch.
Fun to mock mercilessly.
Oh, that too. And we found a short on Halloween safety, directed by Herk Harvey himself. Hope you enjoy, or at least learn something.
The second most disappointing movie in the Halloween franchise. He's Chief of Police. She's a carved pumpkin. Together they fight crime.
There's one magical, haunted evening each year when all the scary creatures come out to prowl through every neighborhood.
Black Friday?
But here's the scariest monster of all.
An unmarried woman.
Do you know why?
'Cause she don't need no man.
This little witch doesn't know it, but she's taking some frightening chances of being hurt. Maybe badly hurt.
But not emotionally.
Her costume is very, very dangerous. Can you see the things that make it dangerous?
Her hidden switchblade.
What about that mask?
It's loaded with
She can
cadmium.
hardly see through those tiny holes for her eyes. If you were wearing that mask, here's what it would be like.
Time to
You can
stab a
see straight in front
babysitter.
of you, but unless you happen to turn your head, you wouldn't see that car coming as you start to cross the street.
Hey, I'm walking
You
here.
could be run over.
Satanic kids, get out of the
And
road.
unless you look down, you can't see that you're coming to a curb. Ow, that hurts.
My razor blade's a
It's
mess.
bad enough to take a tumble on hard pavement, but it would be even worse to sprawl out on the street in front of a car coming.
Oh, I hope that's two motorcycles.
Now let's imagine that we're in that car. Can you see her clearly?
No.
Why not?
It's called plausible deniability.
What is there about her costume that makes it hard to see her? As the driver of a car or truck, you might not see her until it's too late. And that's really scary.
It's mortality.
The true spirit of
Before we
Halloween.
think about some ways that the little witch could see and be seen better, let's take another look at her costume. Whoops, down she goes again.
People's pain is funny.
It seems as if she's collecting more bumps and bruises than candy tonight.
One man's bruise is another
Let's
man's
see
candy.
if we can help her, shall we? And by helping
That's
her,
it, Broom. You're off
maybe
the
you
team.
can learn some things that will help you stay safe at Halloween. First, we need to turn back the clock and start this whole evening over
You
again.
can't, Brenda. The dream is
One
dead.
of the problems with this costume is that it's too long.
Maxi dresses are so
It's too easy to
2016.
trip over a long, full skirt.
This is why weddings are so funny.
So we can shorten the skirt. You should always shorten any skirt, pants,
Kitties!
slacks, or cape
No
that is
capes.
too long or floppy.
Bert, this is the best film
Now,
ever.
the broom.
Hey, go back
That's
to
a
the
clumsy
cat.
thing to carry.
Oh, goodbye, kid.
And it's something that you're likely to trip over in the dark.
And the daylight, given this kid's coordination.
It's usually easy to shorten brooms,
Yeah, kids love it when you take a
or
giant
round
sword
off the
of their
sharp
toys.
points of pirate swords and other costume parts that can trip you or scratch you.
She should just carry the saw.
Cardboard brooms and swords are usually safer than wooden ones.
And way
But
cooler.
it's safest not to carry anything like that in the first place. Now, what else might we change on this costume to make it safer?
Knee pads?
Helmet.
Training
What
wheels?
about that color?
Yeah, witches don't wear black.
Remember how hard it was to see the little witch because of her dark costume on a dark night?
My counsel advises me not to
We
answer
should
that
always
question.
wear light, bright colors on the street at night so drivers can see us. What about this color? The white costume makes an unusual, different kind of witch, who's more likely to be safe on Halloween night.
With that pointed hat, it's not problematic at all.
A good way to make any costume easier to see at night is to decorate it with reflective tape or reflective patches.
Strap on some Roman candles. Light her on fire.
Some costumes come with reflective material already attached to the cloth.
Yeah, bougie kids are always safer.
Here's what it looks like to a car driver. It's easy to see, even on the darkest night.
Ah, tiny Klansmen, get out of the road.
And while you're putting reflective tape on the costume, you should also add some of it to the bag or container you'll use to carry home your candy.
And then on each individual
Some
piece
special
of candy.
Halloween sacks are treated with reflective material when they're made. And it's a good idea to write your name, address, and phone number on the
So you
sack,
can be doxxed
just in
later.
case there is an accident.
An alleged accident.
Now, how about the mask?
Satan speaks to me
Any
through
problem
it.
with it? Do you remember how hard it was to see out through those little eye holes?
Black soulless eye holes.
To be safe at night, you have to be able to see clearly, as well as be seen.
Smell as well as be
We can
smelled.
improve the mask by cutting larger holes to look out
Am I
of.
just gouges out here?
There, that's better. But there is an even safer way.
The mask is angry at you. You'll be the next to die.
You can simply
No,
not
the
wear a
mask and I are
mask.
one. You shall suffer, ignorant Saturn.
You think you need a mask to disguise yourself?
I got a warrant out. I
Well,
can't do it
just
at the
watch
nickel.
what you can do. With a little help from your parents and some scraps of cloth or old clothes from around home.
What's his costume?
He's going as mayonnaise.
An eyebrow pencil,
Newest NFT sad
different
shorties.
colors of eyeshadow, rouge, lipstick,
Ah, it's
an
Annabelle.
old mop or wig, some wax teeth,
It's a ring ring. Shire packets.
maybe some clay and food coloring,
Oh, lead paint.
Sharpies.
and a few other odds and ends. You'd be surprised what you can turn
Beyonce's
yourself
slaying
into.
Even then. Woo.
Wow.
It's corn. It's got the juice. It's got the juice.
That's not makeup, but that's from eating glue.
Infant furries.
Whether you buy a
Dressed as
costume or
librarian.
design your own, be sure that it's made of flame-retardant material.
You're no fun.
That means material that won't catch on fire easily.
Not without accelerants. Debbie, don't stare at the camera. Don't stare at the camera, Debbie. Debbie, don't.
Well, the Wesleyan quadrilateral explicates the Methodist belief of primacy.
Now our little witch has turned into a beautiful princess.
With
A
a witch
witch
Her
hat.
new costume is much safer.
And safer makes it funner.
But there are a few other things you should do before going out.
Gotta poop.
First, eat a big dinner. If you go trick-or-treating while you're hungry, you'll be tempted to sample some of your treats while you're out. And that's definitely not a good idea.
Eating candy on Halloween? Absurd.
Keep an eye on the clock. In many places, the police set the hours that you should trick-or-treat.
Yep, that Crown Victoria
Trick
is
or
still
treat
staking me
only
out.
within
Told you
those
I needed a
times.
mask.
Neighbors should be ready with treats for
Well,
you.
they're gonna get such an
And
egg.
drivers should be more careful to watch for you during those hours.
But they'll barrel through the neighborhood at 40 like they always do.
Make sure you carry a flashlight when
Shine
you
in the
go.
eyes of passing motorists.
The light will not only help you see where you're going in the dark, but it will also make it easier for others, including drivers, to see you.
Hi, Mom. See you in Columbia if the caper goes south. You never met me.
Always travel with a group.
They can provide
Not
you
alone.
alibis later.
It's safer still to have a parent along to keep an eye on things.
Parental
And of
supervision in
course,
the 70s
you
was
should
like
always
occasionally
walk.
looking out the window to see if your
Riding
kid
a
was being
bicycle at
chased
night
by a
is
drug
always
cartel.
dangerous. But it's even more dangerous to try to ride in a costume at night. As you go from house to house, stay on the sidewalks as much as possible.
You all have walkable communities, don't you?
If you have to walk in an area where there are no sidewalks,
Blame the auto industry.
walk as far off the roadway as possible and face the traffic. That way you can see what's coming and get out of the way if you have to.
Out of the road, tiny circus.
Cross streets only at brightly lighted corners,
Or just shoot
not
day
in the middle
for
of the
night
block,
if you can't.
and never between two parked cars. When you start across a street, cross quickly, but don't run. And don't stop in the middle of the street for any reason.
But Jimmy fell down.
Stay in
dead
your
to us.
own
Keep
neighborhood
going.
when you're trick-or-treating. Your neighbors are probably hoping to see you in costume on Halloween. And it's safest to visit people you know.
Let's go to Timothy Leary's house. Yay!
If you don't know the people very well, don't go into their homes.
If you know them, barge in.
Most people
Root
enjoy
around,
having
read the fridge.
trick-or-treaters come to their doors. But there are a few people who will do things to hurt kids.
Like, tell them their unboxing videos suck.
They might put sharp or hard objects in candy and apples.
This again.
Or they
Doesn't
might put
happen.
something on fruit or gum that could make you sick if you eat it.
Like xylitol.
Okay, we cased the joint. Meet me back here with the van at midnight. Don't forget your toolkit.
To be completely safe, save your treats until you get home.
Oh,
we will.
And ask your parents to help you check them carefully.
Mom
to
just
make
wants
sure
to keep all
that
the
there's
drugs for
nothing in
herself.
them or
And the
on
good
them
and
that could
plenties.
hurt you. The safest treats are usually candy or gum that come in their own wrappers from the factory.
Cottage law's dead. All hell corporations.
Fruit should be washed before you eat it.
Jimmy, did you get a bag full of pears?
I like pears.
And all candy bars and fruit should be sliced so you can be certain that there is nothing hard or sharp inside that could hurt you.
Yeah, the camera isn't showing you the cigarette she's ashing into the fruit.
Dead rat.
If you're not sure whether
Staples.
something is safe or
Broken
not,
glass.
don't
Watch
take
our
any
pamphlet.
chances.
Dead rat.
Throw it away. But let's get back to the fun part of Halloween with the princess and her friends.
Still a witch. Oh, I like this funky Psycho remix.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Do the hustle.
Almost everyone enjoys a good joke or riddle.
Except the Batman.
What you guys eat for breakfast?
What?
That's toast.
Great delivery, kid.
What's a wiener when you
No,
got?
no, 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 no.
No, don't, Jimmy, don't.
Where does Dracula keep his money?
Where?
In a blood bank.
Here, have some candy.
And then go away.
However, some practical jokes and pranks aren't so funny.
They're hilarious.
If you should break something, it wouldn't be very funny to the owners
Into
to
the
your
dungeon
parents.
with you.
who might have to pay for it.
With
With
blood.
blood.
Keep your jokes funny and harmless.
His costume is a Columbo villain.
Tonight has been a magical night.
I've seen tractors
We
that were
saw
more
a scary
magical.
monster changed into a beautiful, happy, and safe little princess.
Witch!
How about you?
Me?
Will you follow the lead of the little princess
Witch, I'll
and
curse
have
you.
a safe and super Halloween this year?
I'd rather have a fun Halloween.
What do you do for fun at Halloween, Murray?
Pretend to be a candy bowl, and if kids reach in, I bite them.
Yeah, that's definitely not safe.
It's perfectly safe. I haven't been hurt once.
Ah, Murray.